Welcome back to the Ascension series. It's January 9th, 2024. I'm going to go a little off today. Normally in these series, I try to teach as many things as I can in regards to our own ascension. I prefer the term evolution. A lot of people call it awakening, whatever. Today, I'm a bit spicy. I've tried to record this a few times and I was a little too unkind. So I'm going to dial it back a bit, but I want to talk about some shit. Okay. I feel very passionate about this. And we're going to talk about the sightings. We're going to talk about what happened where there was, 1,000 children or 100 children in the adolescent with sticks. And that's why all the police showed up. We're talking about that. We're going to talk about the subway that had its own thing in New York. We're going to talk about the sightings. I'm going to talk in code for a reason because one, I don't want to get tagged. Two, my biggest responsibility, believe it or not, as much as a raging see you next Tuesday I can be and how spicy I can be, it's actually one of my responsibilities that I take very seriously to not trigger fear, to not trigger um I'm fully authentic and who I am, and I don't edit my shit because I don't give a fuck. Number one. Two, if you find me annoying, you're not going to watch me. Good, because then I'm not for you. The souls, the energy, the people, you that are here alongside me resonate with me. We have a lot more in common than you are aware of. And I see a lot of you in my meditations, a lot of you, even though we haven't met and we haven't talked, a lot of you, I know you very deeply. So I deliver my content in a way that only those that are interested, that are ready, that are ascending, evolving, will pay attention to me. Everyone else just gets annoyed and flushes on. I do take, even though I'm spicy, I do take my responsibility to not trigger people into fear very seriously and to not add to the bucket of fear. This is why, before we get into galactic starseed stuff, see how long I'm dragging this out because the haters are going to be gone by now. Here we go. All right. We are in we are on a planet, okay? Whether it's flat earth, round earth, it doesn't fucking matter. I have my own personal opinions. It doesn't matter. Does it change your life? Does it change what you do with your finances? Does it change what you do with your family? No. So shut the fuck up, sit down and live your best life. It doesn't matter. Put that over there. We are on a planet of survival. We are a species of survival. Everything on this fucking planet is in survival mode. The whole point of being here is to evolve yourself out of survival mode into thriving mode. I don't mean it in the cliche. I've noticed, I've been teaching this for over a decade. The program Fully Awaken and Ascend, I've been teaching for over a decade to thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And I've noticed lately how many people are talking and trying to use the terminology of get out of survival mode and into thriving to sell their fucking manifestation program, which is total bullshit. Because are you actually living your best life instead of promoting yourself all over fucking TikTok and doing all the shit you're doing? Probably not. That's my theory. If you see me a lot on TikTok, it's because I have time. If you don't see me on TikTok like you haven't for over a month, it's because I'm actually changing lives. I'm busy. So that's how I look at everybody else who's promoting their shit endlessly. It's like, well, you clearly don't have clients if that's what you're doing. But anyway, again, that's my see you next Tuesday. Let me set it straight. Because we're on a planet of survival, our instinctual fear is always going to be there. Well, let me rephrase that. I've understood how to remove instinctual fear just in the last month, and I'm doing a test study on it. So right now, I have a small group that I'm testing all of these teachings on before I bring it to the world because I believe in evidence. So I do believe you can remove it. However, that's a totally different topic. I'm going to share that in the Galactic Ambassadors forecast that'll be coming up in February. We'll talk about that at the end. Okay. So because we're in survival, instinctual fear is there. It is easy for us to move into fear. It is easy for us to stay low vibration. As soon as we get talking about stuff that we don't understand, why the government does what it does, I know why. It's not what you guys, it's not what the freedom movement thinks it is. So stupid. I am so done with humans sometimes. Like, honestly, I can't be the only one that's like, why are you so ridiculous? Anyway, yeah. So I don't want to trigger someone, one in the comments to be like, I don't care what you think about me. Go ahead. Like, thanks for the comment because you put me deeper into the algorithm. I actually appreciate it. So knock your socks off if you want to beat me up. That's fine. But I don't want to initiate fear in anybody else. We have a big wave of followers here at Diamond Mentoring that are newbies, and I don't want to trigger them into like, what is happening? Okay. So, because we're on the survival planet, you are going to be adding to either survival or thriving mode as the collective of our planet and our species. Okay. So, look at the human collective as a body, like the whole collective. When we are shooting our mouths off, didn't expect to go into this direction, but quick reminder, when we're shooting off our mouth about our own personal opinions and we think that we're being lied to or controlled or any of those things, right? Which is a lot of evidence to denote to that, but you're looking through the wrong lens. Anyway, so when we get all up in arms about something, we start to fight at it. The majority of thought will always create the outcome. That's quantum mechanics right there. The majority of thought will create the outcome. Thought, perception creates reality. So whatever you're putting the majority of your focus on is what you are adding to. So when we are like, oh my God, these sightings, I'm just going to go back to that and not go into everything else that I think. These sightings, like, oh my God, there's one TikToker. I respected her up until yesterday. I was like, the fuck are you doing? And then there's another one who I think is the most beautiful starseed. She's probably the most famous starseed. She's beautiful. Her energy is amazing, but baby girl has it wrong. She is preaching inundation of fear. She is only looking through one lens. She is not looking through the totality. She channels the Galactic Federation of Light, which is Palladians. But anyway, there's way more than that. There's endless, limitless species. So I'm going to pause that and say, it's so funny to me. This is my little bit of spice coming through. I find it so interesting that a large portion, large, large portion of humanity believes that there is one singular daddy sitting on a throne way up in the ethers who has the shape of a human body that directs and controls all and is patiently, quietly sitting. I'm sorry, have you ever met a father give a man 5 children, put them in one room with that man and let him sit on his fucking throne, lazy boy chair, and let those kids be the assholes that they fucking are like we are? Is that daddy going to sit there and just be like, I have all the patience of the world? No, like not at all. I wouldn't. Like, I'm not a daddy, obviously, but anyway, but the majority of the population can believe in one singular man sitting up on a throne that created us in his image and is also ever patient. And one day he's just going to blow a gasket and all of his rage is going to come down. And he's only going to pick the good kids and not the bad kids and be like, since you're all my children, I disown you forever into some abyss of fire or not being able to be reincarnated to paradise on earth, whatever your fucking belief is. Like, we can believe in that, but we can't believe in an intelligence that's more superior than humanity. We're the stupidest. But anyway, cool beans. So I totally believe in galactic energy. There's many dimensions, and without taking up too much time, because you know I got the gift of gab, there is endless dimensions. There's endless, limitless. It's not just our little galaxy. Like, fuck that noise. There's so much. We cannot be the smartest shit on this planet. So at this point, I'm pretty sure everybody who has stayed up to here, you already know your starseed. Let's get into starseed shit, shall we? We have had a massive shift in the veils between dimensions. As a collective, humanity is starting to kind of baby get it. Some of us. Okay. So we're shifting the energy. I want you to think about the circle of life, right? Like I always refer to this tattoo, the circle of life. And each human existence, just hear me out, as a metaphor, each human existence is one of these circles. We're all integrated and overlaid. So if we start to shift from low dense vibration and start to wake up, we start to shift the patterning, the vibration of that blanket, of that weave, of that shape, or the, you know what I mean? The wave, right? So if you're vibrating high, it's like really fast and jolty, it's going to adjust the wave. So anything that was slow and dense is going to start to speed up, whether they know it or not. So we're evolving, we're ascending, we're moving into a higher internal dimensional consciousness. So we've got 3-dimensional consciousness all the way up to 8th-dimensional consciousness within the human. Then the exterior, there's much more than that. So humanity has within themselves 3 to 8. Then so that's just one operating mechanism. Then there's a whole other operating mechanism from 1 to 12. Then there's a whole other operating mechanism from whatever, right? So the dimensional, my phone's going off like mad. Let me turn it so I don't get ADD distracted. So the veils between the layers, we'll call it, whether there's people who say it's all stacked on top of each other. I think it's all integrated. Doesn't matter, but the veils are becoming thinner and thinner and thinner. And so now we're starting to experience each other completely. And that's part of the evolutionary process of Earth, of Gaia, of this particular planet, AKA ship, flat Earth, round Earth, whatever you think it is. It doesn't actually matter. So right now, what we're going through is the shift in connection. So think about it as like, I can't think of a proper analogy except for like a child crawling cannot experience life the same as an adult running a marathon. It's a different level of evolutionary process, right? It's the same thing with a lot of humanity. It's the same thing with our connection to the realms. So there's a lot of beautiful connection happening. Now, in every species, I'll give the example of bunnies. I think they're the cutest thing. I have hundreds of them on my property right now. Bunnies, not rabbits. I call them bunnies, whatever. When I was a little girl, for a brief amount of time, I had a bunny, and that thing was vicious. Like it was wildly mean. It blew my mind because it was the cutest little freaking thing, and it was horrifically unkind, violent. So, like every species, there's good. There's very greed based, low vibration, greed. Then there's very high vibration, being of service. Same thing with humanity. We got some big assholes on this planet, some motherfuckers on this planet. And we've got some real beautiful beings on this planet. So we can't label humanity as good or bad. We can't label galactic as good or bad. What I can tell you to bring comfort to all of this, there's a lot of lies out there, even from the most famous starseed YouTuber. There's just a mistruth, okay? You cannot be harmed, my darling. You can't be. Nothing is here to devour you the way we are taught that we will be devoured by demons or whatever. It's not real. The only thing that can happen is energy fuels energy, right? So my personal example, when I go out with my girls, my intention is to have the most wild, within a 45-year-old mom's gone wild kind of vibe thing, the most wild night that I can have, the most laughter, the most fun, the most passionate, the most excitable evening. That's my fucking intention. So whatever I go into with my girls, damn fucking right, I'm going to push that agenda. I am going to push the fun. I'm going to push the comedy. I'm really funny in real life, by the way. So I'm going to put on a comedy show for my team. I'm going to have the best night of my life. I'm going to dance. I'm going to do all of the things. I'm going to dress a little on the slutty side for mama. Like I am going for it. And I'm going to push that agenda and push that agenda because that is what serves me in that moment. Does that make me a horrible, mean, evil entity. No, that's what's serving me. That energy makes me feel great. Everything fuels everything. Energy fuels energy. So there is some energy that is low vibe, low vibrational, that feeds off of fear. A lot of people call it, I think, loosh. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Like we get all like techie with it. It's just basically energy fuels energy. Like we don't have to label it. Do you label like, oh, she's pushing the agenda of happiness, or oh, she's, anyways, I'm such an asshole sometimes. So back to that. So some energy fuels off of fear. Some energy fuels off of passion. Some energy fuels off of sexual intensity. If you know, you know. Some fuel off of love. Palladians totally fuel off of love, but they also have an agenda for us to keep us in this little crate. They don't want us to be evolved because the Palladians are like the next level and they still have their own little greed and they don't want humanity. Like, anyways, putting that out there. So when these crazy things happen, where it's like, holy fuck, there's evidence, right? You're going to have your own evidence if you just meditate enough. I have plenty of evidence. Like, spend one weekend in my house and you will never be an unbeliever again. They're here and it's evident they're here. With your eyes, with your ears, with your nose, like they're here. They're my family. They're here. They're like, they drove in from out of state and they're staying on vacation on my property. Like they're just here. So when these things happen, it's to bring one, really truly, as bizarrely as they happen or whatever. Can we just look at it as like, holy shit, there's more evidence. I'm not crazy. Not me, Diamond, but that internal conversation. When you start having galactic downloads and you start having these experiences, you really truly think you're crazy. I begged my medical doctor for a psych evaluation for years. I thought I was losing my mind. Begged him and told him exactly why. Begged him. So you actually truly are like, oh my God, I'm losing my mind. I'm going crazy. It's very normal to have that process. So I love when these things happen because starseeds are like, when we're having those experiences, when you're at one of the awakening levels of this, you're like, I'm not crazy. This is amazing. So it's confirmation. That's all. Just take it as confirmation. The veils are thinning. We are going to see them more. We are going to have more experiences. Did anybody see a tall foot being open its mouth and start to snarl its teeth and prey after a child or an animal and devour it? No. Was there an image of a vortex opening and some shady black tall being shooting across and shooting back? Yes. Was it violent? Was it aggressive? No. Why are you shitting yourself? Why are you shitting yourself? Again, instinctual fear, right? So everybody involved in that situation, instinctual fear. That's an everyday norm for me. Every single day norm for me. They're on my property. They're in my house. I have these experiences. I have since I was really young. It's normal for me. So I just would have been like, oh, hey, Bob, we'll continue on. So there's that piece. The media, why did the media cover it up? Probably because anybody who's working for the city is working for the city because they're not in divine purpose. So that would indicate that they are not aware. And so if you're having the situation with something that you are unaware of, the way a couple of my friends who have stayed over here have and been like, what the fuck is in that room? It's going to trigger you a little bit. You're going to like, the unknown is scary for humans because we're in survival mode. The same way the unknown for a wild animal is a little scary. So there's going to be a cover up. There's going to be a cover up because humanity also, when galactic disclosure fully happens, what's going to happen to the majority of humanity who still think there's some fucker on a throne up there? My words. Oh my God. Right. So what's going to happen to God-fearing individuals? What's going to happen to religion? It's going to crumble. When it crumbles, what's going to happen if they have nothing to lean into and they don't feel safe anymore? That's going to create way too much division for humanity. If the aliens and the government were all like, here it is, all of it. God doesn't exist. There's no throne. There's just dimensional consciousness that is limitless. And we are just a small speck on the scale of all of the things. And There is like generations still alive, generations that go to church on Sunday or bow to something, or they're not going to have anything else to lean into. And it's generations of information that's embedded in their DNA code, in their beings. They're going to go into panic. And when humans go into panic, what do? When a human gets highly triggered because you're showing them something that they don't want to believe, what does the average human do? Probably goes from a 0 to 10 real fast on the frustration and anger scale. If the majority of humanity still believes in religion and all of this disclosure was rapidly unfolding, what would happen to humanity? We would probably harm each other quite a bit, worse than we already do. Do you feel safe at night in a big city walking down the street? Probably not. Do you feel safe leaving your car unlocked? Probably not. Do you leave safe not having a security system on your home? Probably not. In the States, do you feel safe not having a gun in your house? Probably not. That's how fucked up we are. So we can't go from, oh, we taught you all of this so that you would somehow not destroy each other. But now we're going to undo it all in half a heartbeat and tell you the truth. So why are we screaming and fighting for the truth? Humanity isn't ready. You know who's ready? If you're still on this video, you're ready. As a collective, humanity isn't ready. They will be eventually, but not tomorrow, not anytime soon. But those of us that are ready, find out for yourself. Start to meditate. Dive into your meditations. Stop fueling the low vibration. Stop screaming about, is it flat or round? Stop screaming about, never in the history of a flat earth video have I seen one totally clear of people who are like judging them. We're just triggering each other endlessly. If you believe the earth is flat, awesome. Did it change your life? No, not at all. What did it change? I know the truth though, Dime. Okay. But what did it change? You're still living, still working, still have a family, still have responsibilities. Mm-hmm. So then why the hell are you screaming it from the rooftop? If you believe that God is real, do it. Doesn't change my existence. We are in an evolutionary process. That's all. We're evolving very slowly. Holy hell, very slowly. But it's coming. And little bits of information at a time are being released. Like, yeah, if we had it, this is who would give it to, and this is what it would look like. And, we're not going to say that we don't have it when it comes to craft and all of those things. Humanity's not ready. It has to be a slow unveiling. It's the same way Christmas morning. You're going to like let your kid believe in Christmas and then Christmas morning go, oh, by the way, Santa's not real. Here's your presents. Merry Christmas. You're not going to do that. You're not going to be, okay, oh, you lost another tooth today and you lost one yesterday and the tooth fairy came. Oh, cool. Let's go put it under your pillow. By the way, the tooth fairy isn't real. We can't. It's a process. It's an unfolding and we are on our way. So fucking right that they tried to cover it up with a bunch of adolescents with sticks. At least it's funny. At least can we just find entertainment in the ridiculous stories that they're panicking over? Like, fuck, that opened up. Ooh, everybody saw it. What do we do? That's all it is. And then at the same time, how many distractions do we have in regards to Taylor and her partner? Like, I opened up Facebook for like half a minute today and we've got all this other stuff going on and they're trying to cover it up so bad. So it's like Taylor got mad at Joe at the Grammys or whatever the fuck the show is, the global whatever's. I'm so out of the loop. Oh my God. Her dress was great though. Just saying that. Um, okay. So my responsibility, and I'd like it to be yours as well. Can you keep your fucking opinion to yourself? As I just bleh it all over the internet. I don't mean it like that. What I mean is you have the ability to believe and experience anything that you possibly desire to, but we do not have to push it onto other people. I do these videos because I know only you guys are watching, not the world, and it doesn't matter. I'm not going to scream at the world. I get endless downloads from the Galactic Federation, not the Federation of Light, because I don't got time for wee little shit like that. I talk to a collective of galactic entities. I have channeled many of them, all of them. I think that I'm capable, like, I don't know, hundreds different species. Anyways, in the galactic membership that we used to have called Galactic Ambassadors. Um, so I've channeled races that I didn't even know existed until they started coming through. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Anyway, if you're doing that, I want you to make sure this is another key point. This is a very key point. Here we go. Ready? Everyone is looking through their own lens. So, discernment. There's a lot of beautiful people channeling on TikTok. I will not channel publicly at all because I'm not willing to trigger anyone. I'm not willing to offer something that people are not ready for. Plus, I'm not channeling the Galactic Federation of Light and I'm not channeling Palladium at all. They're great. They're fine. They're not my fucking crew. I don't have time for that. That's too small for me. And what I mean by that is they are the closest species to humanity. So they still got their own human ish tendencies and they still offer from every channeler that I've seen out there. And you can go search for yourself. Everyone who's channeling those are still talking and preaching. Every human that's channeling those is preaching about the agenda. That's baby food for me. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to preach about the agenda because there's no fucking agenda. The agenda is let's let the information out slowly, slowly, so humanity as a collective can adapt. And those that are capable of connecting in because they've done their own evolutionary process and they're doing their fucking meditations can then tap in and channel them themselves and have their own fucking experience. And therefore, nobody needs to be important. I have no desire to be important. But if you look at everyone who's channeling, fucking right, they do. I'm not doing it. And they're going to channel things that are about fear inundation, about the evil elite. Yeah, there is some disgusting shit that celebrities do. Holy crap. It's like a private, it's like getting into like some fucking frat house, disgusting level of horrific shit. Then don't be a part of them. They've been doing it since the conception of humanity. The conception of humanity. We were conceived by Anunnaki. We were created by Anunnaki for a very particular reason. And then we had free will to develop our own consciousness and evolve out of their expectation and start to develop our own. Some of us have done that. Many have not. So if you see someone preaching about the horrible agenda, if you see someone preaching about the cover-ups, the hiding, the freedom movement, the don't get this because of that, don't put this in your body because of that. They are taking the bait of fear and they are sharing the bait of fear completely. Each human has their own intuition level. Each human has their own compass. Each human has their own opportunity to tap in and say, is this right for my experience? And if someone is telling you that it is or is not right for your experience and judging you for it and you like ridiculing you for it. So let's say the whole poke thing, like, oh, you're not spiritual if you got the poke. Fuck off. They're sharing the fear. They're encouraging the bait of fear. They are instill instinctual fear. And we think that we want freedom. We think that we want to bring love to this planet. We think that's what we're doing, but you're fucking it up really hard. If you are going to preach anything like that, you are adding to the vibration of fear because you're adding to conflict. You're adding to that's wrong, this is right. And that's not what unity is. Unity is not about right or wrong. Unity is about your own compass and acceptance of the actual vibration of all things that are in creation, the purest vibration, not aside from being authentic humanly. Like human is Oh my God. Being authentic is the highest vibration within a human. Even if you're being an authentic douchebag, that's still the highest vibration because you're being totally authentic. Authenticity is the highest vibration in the human experience. Outside of the human experience, the highest vibration is the vibration of acceptance. God, source, energy, universe, whatever the fuck you're calling it these days, it's the vibration of acceptance. So if you're going to preach about an agenda and you're going to preach about all of these things that are horrible, is that the vibration of acceptance? Are you adding to acceptance on this planet? Or are you adding to, yeah, let's rile against them. Let's fight for our rights. Let's talk about bringing in freedom. Let's bring the truth forward. So what? The rest of humanity can fall apart because you have a hunch that maybe this is a lie. The whole point of being human, everything is a hoax. It's just a big fat fucking lie. You're here to live your best fucking damn life and you have permission to do so. That's all. You're here to evolve from survival, instinctual fear, survival into thriving energy. If you are thriving, what does that mean? It means freedom, love, money, pleasure, joy, laughter, all of the good things. But then if we go for that, oh, we're being selfish, which again, survival. So what bucket are you adding to? Are you adding to survival? Or are you adding to thriving? Are you adding to unity? Are you capable of experiencing acceptance? And I know a lot of you right now are going to be like, yeah, I am diving this. It's about unity and acceptance. I know. I'm going to see it in the comments. Ready? Burst your bell for 1 second. If you are going to become the change that the world needs, you have to become the vibration of acceptance, which means you have to accept all that is, what you perceive as ugh, and what you perceive as, oh. But first, you know what you got to accept? Your goddamn self. Are you in full acceptance of your physical body? Are you in acceptance of your aging process? Are you in acceptance of where you are at? Because where you are at is what you have created. So you are living in your own perception and the way you perceive your partner, the way you perceive your 9 to 5 work job, the way you perceive all of the things. That's on you. Are you in acceptance of it is what it is? If you can accept that without a negative emotion, congratulations. That's where it's at. That's where I want to see you. Because the moment that you move out of that, you become the highest vibration. When you become the vibration of acceptance, you are the highest vibration, which means you will have the most fucking glorious life. Fully. Everything is amazing because everything like attracts like your vibration, the law of attraction manifesting. It's just the law of attraction responding to the law of vibration. Whatever your vibration is, the law of attraction is going to respond to that. And kabamo, that's your reality. So if you become the highest vibration, which is the vibration of acceptance, it gets really, 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 really good. Oh my God, it's so good. And that's what I want for you. So that was my rant. I feel like it was a crazy rant. It took me quite a while to get into the right energy to talk about this without being a total fucking asshole. But it hurts my heart to see. I don't understand why people don't get this. I don't understand. There's those two people. There's one woman on TikTok who I don't go on there barely at all, as you guys know. And I don't get a lot of time on social media. But if I ever did, more so in the past, there was a YouTuber and one TikToker that I really was like, I love their energy. They're beautiful, amazing. And then they started preaching, fighting against the agenda or that these entities are demonic beings and all of this other stuff. And my heart sunk. And it's not that I'm judging them. It sounds like it. My ego definitely wants to. And it's okay to judge once in a while. I can be a catty cunt. Ooh, I said that word. Sorry. My bad. I don't think that's a YouTube worthy word. I'm going to put it up and see what happens. My apologies. I don't usually use that word, but I can be. My ego can be. But I'm all flushed now from actually, and I'm not even going to edit it out. Like, I don't even know why I care. Anyway, I can be pretty catty. My ego can be, but never in a million years would I ever judge someone with the intention of hurting them or feeling that they're less than me, or that's not what I am. I find entertainment in it. And my soul, more so, like I well up with tears, even though I can be a righteous asshole. I am so fucking sensitive. And when I see these big followers who have really beautiful energy. And I see them sharing this low vibe or instilling more fear or the desire to fight against something instead of accept it, or the providing fear bait, or and thinking that they're doing it because they think they're right, and they think that this is the way it's got to go. And I don't believe in right or wrong. I believe in a certain perception and awareness right now. But when I look at the totality of humanity and I look at how they're so in survival mode and instinctual fear, and if everything unfolded at once, we would destroy each other. And there's a lot of humans that I really love. I don't want to see them destroyed. I want to see us flourish. I want to see us come into unity. And the only way we're going to come into unity is to come into self unity, to realize that these negative, low vibrational conversations that are adding to, remember, the majority of thought, if you take nothing from my long winded ass conversation here today, the majority of thought will always create the outcome. I teach that in Fully Awakeness in the program. The majority of your thought is going to create the outcome of your reality. The majority of thought in the collective of humanity is going to continue that reality. And if the majority of our thought is in, we are being lied to, of course we're being lied to. You lie to your kids about Santa Claus? We talked about it. But we're not being lied to because we're not worthy. We're being misled because we're actually loved. And so when you think about what we were created for and what we're evolving into, and we're not there yet, guys. We're not capable of holding each other at all. And they've experimented. There has been tsunamis. There has been all of these things that have happened. There's been tsunami warnings. There's been horrific things that have happened, some of them by humans, some of them as a test. And what happens when we get a tsunami warning? The first thing you see on the news is people rioting, stealing, fighting in grocery stores, hoarding. You don't see people coming together and sharing and being like, let's come into my basement, it's safer. Let's come into my home, I'll protect you. I have extra food, let me feed you. You see us divide. And then when it's devastation, boom, our moral compass kicks in and we move back into compassion. But in the heat of the moment, we're obnoxious. We're not good at this. So we're going to be misled right now until we can finally fucking come together. We're like bratty little asshole kids. It's not cool. So the majority of thought will create the outcome as a collective and individually. That's how quantum mechanics works. So is your thought adding to, or is there a full separation of, no, that doesn't belong to me. I'm over here creating unity. I want you to really think about it. And I know that's a hard one to wrap your brain around, and you're going to be like, no, I'm totally in unity. I assure you that most of you are not. I do this for a living for decades now. This is what I mean by it before I wrap up. Do you wish that your partner, or do you have fear that your partner is not awakening the way you are? Then you're in judgment. You're adding to the problem. Are you in fear that toxic family members are ruining the family dynamic? Then you're not in acceptance. The way out of that is boundaries. I can teach all of that. These are just the questions to help you understand. Do you look in the mirror and judge your body? Then you're not in unity. Do you judge your bank account? Not in unity. Do you judge your 9-to-5 job, your experience having to go into the workforce? Then you're not in unity. That's how it works. When you are in unity, you don't judge any of it. You can be a catty asshole like me if you want once in a while, and you can let your ego play because it's interesting. Because some humans, I'm like, what the fuck did your mom do to you? Like, what happened? Because wow, you can be like that once in a while. You have permission. You're human. You are not perfect. But the majority of you, you're going to move into toxic people setting boundaries. You're not going to allow it. You know your vibration is worthy. I know my vibration is required. My high vibration is required. The way I perceive my world, my experience, and the people in my life, there's a movement happening because of me. Thank you. I love you. There's a movement happening. That is how I function. That is how I see everything, because everything is a reflection of me to some degree. So, anyways, I'm ranting a lot. I'm just very passionate about this. So, here's what we're going to do. You're just going to start to pay attention to your thought. Am I adding to the problem, or because the problem, like it's like a tug of war game? Am I playing tug of war because that's adding to the resistance, the problem? Or am I standing back and being like, okay, what can I do over here? So there's that. I want you to do that. Literally, I'm giving you homework. So there's that. 2, there's been a lot of requests for the Galactic Ambassadors membership to come back. It's coming back, but it's not going to come back as a membership because I can't promise that amount of time to it. So February 7th, which is a Wednesday, I'm going to do my best to do it the first Wednesday of every month at 4 p.m. So February 7th, 4 p.m., $27 Canadian. Email us at reachout@diamondo.com if you want a seat in that. It's not going to be up on the website. It's just going to be through this format because I don't want to open it to the world, because I'm not interested in people who are still in the fourth dimensional consciousness partaking in that, only because it lowers the vibe for everybody else. There will be channeling. There will be a lot of Anunnaki information and direction for humanity from the collective, from whatever wants to come through. We'll see. So that's opening up for that. And that is all. I'm going to stop ranting now. I feel like I just went on for an eternity. Sorry, not sorry. I'm super passionate about this one. All right. Some of you I will see on the 19th, face to face on the expansion retreat. Looking really forward, really forward to sharing that content. And the rest of you, I will see you next week. Well, you'll see me next week. I won't see you, but I'll see your comments. All right. Stopping for real. Thank you. I love you. Go have a rockin' ass night. Bye, guys.